Hey traders, Cousin Vinny coming to you on June the 10th, 2 hours before the futures open up with a look at the week ahead. Now this is the ES Daily, and we have a level here that goes back to the July highs of 2011, this horizontal, which lines up pretty much with that head and shoulders top that we had, the breakdown. I'm looking at these highs here where we backed off slightly, and this Fibonacci level from this last pivot, okay, that lines up with the 50% level right here. So I'm looking at this as a level to beat this week, also taking into consideration this hammer that we had on Monday down to the 1254 level, this pattern here that's playing out, all right, that we've broken above. And what will happen here at the 50% level, and possibly a shot up to the 618. I will be watching to see which way we trade on the futures Globex tonight as well. So let's take a look at the weekly. Let's take a look. This October low to that high. Okay, we were right at the 382 level. Okay, we had almost an outside day, an engulfing pattern here if we had taken out this level here. But that's a very strong candle compared to the rest of these candles here. The last one we saw anywhere near that was in December. Okay, so I'll be watching this very closely going into the week. Have these lows here. Okay. Okay, so the 50% level is my target this week, and I may revise that target depending on what happens with Globex tonight. I'm anticipating that we're going to move up to this 50% level here on the fibs from this high here in May down to this low pivot. Perhaps a flag out here and then move higher. Okay, some situation where we have this kind of move here. Okay, so these are my two levels, 50% and 618, pretty significant. All right, and we have this trend line, of course, coming up to the 786 level. It goes back to the October lows. Yeah, it's kind of funny because a week ago I was looking at the possibility of a ratio trade, this move down. I know a number of you had emailed me with the thoughts of how that would work out. This down move here off of this candle, we're projecting the possibility that this would break down and come down to the 127. Obviously that didn't happen. So you have to trade what you see, not what you think. That's the important message there. Okay, and you have to be able to change your bear suit to your bull suit very quickly. Or in the case of us, maybe you put on your goat suit. So anyway, that's my thoughts for the ES this week. I think we're going to continue to rally. Perhaps we flag out here, pause, which would be constructive, and then move higher. Okay, we could also come here and turn down. Okay, that's always that possibility that we can move down into this wedge. Okay, looking at the spiders, we have that October low to the recent March highs, okay, March, April. And we've since had this bear flag that we broke down on the Friday of the previous week. We broke down, gap down, and on Monday we somewhat hammered, and we got back into this channel. Okay, so we see this as a pivot now. Okay, we're back above that breakdown area, and we closed right on it. But what I'm looking for is this head and shoulder pattern to play out. We're using the ES, what I was talking about before, running up a little bit higher and then consolidating. Okay, and we'll watch to see where that happens. But put in this right shoulder and then move higher up to this upper trend line. Then what happens up here around Kumo will be interesting to say the least. So I've had this target in for the last week now, and If we take some fibs from this high, okay, down to this pivot low, we can see the 50% level is right up here by Kijun-sen, okay, and also very near Kumo over here if it takes us a few days to flag out and get there. So I'm looking at this 50% level, which happens to coincide with Kijun. We talked about previously the significance of the way Tikin and Kijun is calculated compared to a standard moving average, which is based on the closing chart. Tikin and Kijun are based on their 9 and 26 periods and the volatility within those two. So keep that in mind. Tikin and Kijun. Kijun being my target for the possible retracement off of this level and down, or a move higher, okay, up to this upper trend line. Now I'm noticing that Home Depot, Walmart, Target, Disney, they're all making 52-week highs. Okay, HD obviously been trading that. We got a TK cross inside the Kumo, which is something of a intermediate signal, but it is pretty strong. You can obviously see what happened here. Looking at the daily normal chart, you can see that we're embedded on the stochastic, but if we look at our MACD, you can see we had a turn up, which if you follow this methodology, MACD can turn up and forecast the possibility of an embedding move here in the stochastics. Okay, so keep that in mind. I look for this to embed. Also notice that on the daily, the Bollinger Bands are expanding. Okay, so you take the high within the squeeze, you buy this candle. We're looking for this to break out above this. Perhaps we have a nice cup and handle. Using O'Neill's theory, you need to see this obviously in a longer time period, but we're above the 10 period and our other moving averages are all below us. So this looks pretty bullish. Also notice the vacuum here above this level here, 52.45 level. Looking at Walmart, you can see that we had a huge candle on Friday. You can tell a whale of sorts got into this move off the 10 period. That was a nice trade right there. I know Scott Redler was trading this and got out of it, I believe. And I believe Goat was talking about this as well. Looking at Target, you can see we had a nice candle there. The pattern's playing out nicely. Okay, you can see we're above this trend line breakout, and if we use a horizontal highs, we're also above those levels. These pivots here, 1, 2, 3, 4 pivots, and Bollinger Bands are expanding. Notice the lower Bollinger Band is starting to expand. Stochastics is starting to get overbought, and MACD's turning up as well as the fact we're above this vacuum level. Looking at the daily on Ichimoku, we're above the Kumo. This isn't technically a Kumo breakout. This was support and a move higher off of the Kumo, but we're above these levels here. Okay, so that's a bullish breakout above those highs. Now, I wasn't in Target, but I was in Disney. Okay, I should say I'm still in Disney. And the reason was we held Tikin and Kijun, and we moved higher above this level here on Friday, which is what I was talking about. Okay, looking at the daily, you can see that we had a couple of crossovers here, and we're crossing over again. So we could conceivably embed on stochastics is here as well. Notice the volume, a little above average. Obviously the Expedia, the travel companies are doing well. They're holding the 10 period. They're sandwiched between the upper Bollinger Band and 10 period, moving higher. I mentioned this in the room. I forget if it was Leslie or Vicky that are trading this, but this looks very good. Tikin is holding price and we're moving higher on the daily. Note the bullishness of your Kumo. Also notice Trip is in this basket as well. It's not as performing as well, but it looks good. AT&T, I've been trading this. These 52 highs. Obviously we were down here, and again we were down here. We've been in this for some time now, since these levels down here. Web.com looking pretty good. We got a move above recent highs. There's no reason to believe that this won't move higher. Nice bullish Kumo. LPSN. That looks nice. You got that level here that we broke out. I wouldn't trade it now or get into it now. I'd wait for a little pullback, maybe a pullback to this breakout pattern. Okay, with stochastics getting overbought. ULTI. All of these look really good. So get on over to Stocktwits. Okay, check out the Stocktwits 50 once a week just to get you an idea of what's going on. You can also look at Investors Business Daily to see what's nice thing about Investors Business Daily is note what they're saying here. Stocks close higher as volume fades. Now you want to see higher highs on increased volume, not lower volume. So that's another thing that'll keep me suspect about that 50% level I showed on the ES and spiders. Okay. But what I will be looking for is if the market does start to pull back a little bit and consolidate or flag, I'll be looking for stocks that have relative strength, like the few that I just mentioned. You can rewind this and look at those charts. If those charts continue to move higher, that's telling me that hedge funds and so forth are buying. Okay, IBD. You can see some of these stocks that are moving higher. Note that Stocktwits had Titan was down last week, so anyway, you can look at those. You can also go over to FinViz, which has a nice feature where you click on the screener here, okay, and you can go to the technical tab, click on 52-week highs, and you get all your charts of stocks making 52-week highs, which I would look at for candidates for bullish trades. Okay, you could also look at 52-week lows for stocks that you may be considering shorting. Okay, where they're losing maybe triple bottoms, something along those lines. Okay. Again, this is Cousin Benny coming to you on the 10th. I hope this helps. We'll talk to you soon. Come over and check us out at Day Trader Bootcamp for a 2-week free trial, and you can meet traders like myself and other professional traders in the room with that 2-week free trial, and hopefully become a member. Take care, and remember to use your stops.